It's just a quick hit. Come on in, everybody settle down. Phone is going off. You guys ever let things slip through the cracks in your life? That's kind of how I feel about some of these topics here today. Some things have been brewing for the past week-ish, and I actually wanted to talk about all of these. Since then, by the way, I think we just started out with a bad mic, so sorry. 6 years in, David, 6 fucking years in. You think you'd get this? We still make mistakes. I'm human. I'm not Bethany. But these are a couple of things which have slipped through the cracks that I've been meaning to talk about the past week. Why is nobody talking about this? I wrote this down. I really need to give credit to somebody on my YouTube who put this idea out there in my head. I never thought about it, and I really can't fucking find the person's name now. So I apologize, but somebody on my YouTube, I swear, I wish I fucking had the name now, made this comment, and I said, God, I'm gonna talk about this on air and give you credit because you put this, I think her name was Allison. Anyway, we had Kyle's daughter's wedding, Alexia Umanksy. We had it about a week ago, a week and a half ago. Married Jake Zimmerman, I think his name was. And it was great. People laughed, people cried. The whole Fox Force 5 were there, everybody. Teddi was feeling well enough to go. Rinna, Sutton, who doesn't get along with Teddi. Dorit wasn't in the picture. Erika. So Kyle really, Mauricio, you spent some money on Kyle's friends at the wedding, didn't you? Um, Kathy was there. Nicky Hilton Rothschild, the cousin, was there. Paris wasn't there because she attended the MTV Video Music Awards instead. I think that's a little only in Hollywood, right? Is that just like a natural, like, well, Paris needs to be at the VMAs over her cousin's wedding? Okay. I mean, Paris wouldn't be at the VMAs over Nikki's wedding, and she wouldn't be at the VMAs over Kathy's wedding if Kathy were to ever get married again. So it's that's just a little strange to me. Oh, can I digress and tell you guys a story? So I've said this story before, but you know, in high school where I went and Dorit went, Dorit and I shared sisters. Like my BFF in high school and her BFF were sisters. Different years, but the two girls were sisters. So anyway, I'll spare you the long story. So their father passed away, I think the two sisters in 2021. I don't know. I've lost track of time. Anyway, their father passed away, I think in 2021. And I went home. I went to the area, Connecticut, because that's what you do when you're friends with someone. And they were like this and that, and they were calling. And the sister's best friend in high school was Dorit. And she was like this, and Dorit and PK. And I was like, what? Like, Dorit and PK are not coming to this funeral. And they laughed at me and they're like, of course they are. This is like her best friend. And I was like, oh, honey, you don't know what happens when someone gets on Housewives. You don't know what happens. It's just no, no. Dorit would do something for Kyle, who she's known for a minute, and her castmates, because that's what they do when they're on TV. But she's not getting on a plane and flying 3,000 miles with Jagger and Phoenix and PK. They were like, David, this is like real life. It's a funeral. Of course she's coming. Well, anyway, not only did she not come, but she's on the fucking red carpet on the VMAs like 2 hours after the funeral takes place. She went to the VMAs. That was the year she wore that really revealing, it was really hot, that really revealing black dress. So there you go. Dorit chose the VMAs over. In Dorit's defense, these two aren't exactly close anymore. They were childhood friends. So that's just a neither here nor there. But Dorit chose the VMAs over going to this funeral, which I went to. And Paris chose it over her cousin's wedding, which I think is a little strange. But Paris was invited. But where was Kim Richards? Where the fuck was Kim Richards? Where was Kim? So that is what someone put on my YouTube. Like, was Kim not invited? Well, I said, wow, wow. I didn't think of that. It's hard to think of the absent, right? It's hard to make a comment. Kyle's dress was okay. It wasn't the best I've ever seen Kyle. Interesting. It was on theme, Midsummer Night's Romance. But I said, like, well, that's an interesting question. I didn't thank you. It didn't cross my mind. And I did a little bit of investigating. There's rumors and there's nastiness. And Salt Lake is back in our lives. So I think we could have rumors and nastiness. But look, I did some investigating and my sources ain't good. According to my sources, which you always take a source with a grain of salt, right? I don't believe anything. I think there's three sides to every story, but a pretty reliable source told me that Kim Richards was not even invited. Now, lots of people listening to this are the black sheep in their family, right? You wear your black sheep pin with pride, people. So I get it. I get it. Big Kathy raised these girls to, value money and fame. I mean, Big Kathy, said to Kathy Hilton, here's Rick, like, this is who you're going to be with. You know what I mean? Like, you marry money, you marry fame. And I am not criticizing any of this. And, so Kathy I mean, she runs Hollywood. We all know that. Lisa Rinna might be the biggest bully in Hollywood, but Kathy Hilton runs Hollywood. She took Rinna right out that back exit. Remember when Rinna was on RHOBH before Kathy? Bye bye, Lisa. You're an icon. You're an icon, Lisa Rinna, but you don't come up against Kathy Hilton in this town, baby. You don't come up against Kathy Hilton in this town. Chris Jenner, you don't come up against her in this town, baby. But Kyle's rich. Mauricio has more money than anyone these days. So it's clear Kim is the ugly stepchild of the family. She's not well off. She's not rich. If anyone out there thinks Kim Richards is rich, she's not. So, is it possible Kim was invited and just said, well, I live in Florida now, which was broken by David Yontef on Behind the Velvet Rope podcast. He broke that exclusive. Um, you know, it's a planes are, I mean, cost about $600 to fly between New York and LA. Florida is pretty similar. I'm not saying that that's not a lot of money. I understand. We're in a tough economy, everybody. So it's possible Kim, who lives with her friend in Florida and has some, financial issues, that the flight was expensive. But Mauricio's worth about $100 million. So throw Kim in coach. If Kyle spends, $4,000 on a pair of shoes, you could have spent. So if Kim was invited and couldn't afford it, you could have bought her a $300 ticket and put her in basic coach in the back and gotten her the Uber from LAX and put her up in one of the many houses. One of the many houses. So there you go. Uh, they could have paid for Kim. It would have been about maybe $500, $600 to get Kim here if you had to pay for it, Mauricio. And put her up at a hotel. Put her up at the Motel 6 for $100 a night, where there's like roaches crawling outside the room if you don't want her to stay. My sources tell me that Kim Richards was not invited to the wedding, and it's from a pretty reliable source. So, I mean, they've really turned their back on Kim. I thought this was interesting. I didn't think of it. And that's awful. I mean, we all have that black sheep in our family. Many people, again, listening to this are the black sheep, which don't get me wrong. I love the black sheep in the family. I love the outcast in the family. I don't know. Not good, not cool. I know you're rich, Kyle. I know you're rich, Kathy, Paris, and it's all fabulous. And I know Lisa Rinna is on brand. See, that's the problem I have with these people. It's like they just make decisions. And by the way, and we'll move on because I'm obviously out of soapbox. Your house was built on Kim Richards. As a child actress, Kim Richards is the one that went to work and paid for Big Kathy's life and Kathy and the Kim Richards, it was on her back. She made the money young. I mean, when Kim Richards goes to these celebrity conventions, it's, Witch Mountain. I mean, she was the one making the money. Yes, Kyle was a child actress too, sure. But Kim was the star. So just, is that nice? Is that nice to do? I don't think Kim Richards was invited. I hear that from a very reliable source. Teresa has finally, according to her, learned her lesson. Um, that is